You know, the pain of loving someone who chose someone else is different. It hurts. Not because it hurts more than every other kind of heartbreak, no. But because it leaves you arguing with reality. That's what it does. See, when someone cheats, you know what happened. When somebody lies, you know what happened. When somebody disappears, you already know what happened. But when somebody looks you in your face and accepts your love, they accept your efforts, they accept your loyalty, and then they turn around and choose somebody else, your mind starts looking for an explanation that doesn't exist, and that hurts. It's confusing. You start replaying conversations. You start rereading messages. You start studying moments that should have been left alone. You're trying to find the exact second everything changed. But here's what I learned. I learned that most of the time, the pain isn't coming from losing them. The pain is coming from realizing that they had a choice the entire time. They could have called. They could have shown up. They could have communicated. They could have fought for it. They could have met you halfway. They could have done a whole bunch of different things. They just didn't. And that hurts. That realization changes everything. Because now you can no longer tell yourself the story that they couldn't love you properly. You can't tell yourself that. Now you have to face the possibility that they simply chose not to. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's the kind of truth that keeps people stuck for years, though. Because once somebody chooses someone else, the average person immediately turns the spotlight on themselves. That's what we do as humans. What's wrong with me? What did they have that I didn't? Why wasn't I enough? But see, that's the wrong question. And the wrong question that's been ruining people for decades. We know this because somebody choosing another person is not always a reflection of your value. Sometimes it's a reflection of their priorities. That's what it is sometimes. Sometimes it's a reflection of their maturity. Sometimes it's a reflection of what they're ready for. Sometimes it's just a reflection of absolutely nothing except personal preference. A confused person can mishandle a diamond and chase glass because glass shines louder under cheap light, and we know this. And that doesn't make the diamond less valuable. It just means that the wrong hands were holding it. But let's not make this soft, right? Because it still hurts. It still hurts watching somebody give another person the effort that they never gave you. It hurts watching them suddenly become consistent after convincing you consistency was difficult. It hurts watching them become everything you asked for after they spent months telling you why they couldn't be that person. Because now you're forced to confront something very uncomfortable. The effort wasn't impossible. The communication, it wasn't impossible. The commitment wasn't impossible. They were just selective. And that's the part people don't know how to process right there. Because when you realize that somebody was selective with their love, you start questioning every memory. You start wondering if they ever cared at all. You start wondering if the whole thing was fake. But see, that's usually not true either. The truth is often much more complicated. They probably did care. They probably did enjoy you. They probably did have real feelings for you. The problem is feelings and decisions are not the same thing. Every day, people leave relationships with people they care about. Every day. Every day, people choose comfort over connection. Every day, people choose what they want instead of what they actually need. That's why you have to stop treating their decision like a verdict on your worth. Their decision was about their life. The mistake is turning it into your identity. That's the mistake. The mistake is spending years trying to prove something to somebody who already made their choice. That's the mistake. Because if we're being honest, a lot of people don't actually want the person back. They want the rejection reversed. That's what they want. They want the person who overlooked them to finally realize what they lost. They want the apology. They want the validation. They want the moment where everything finally makes sense. But see, here's the problem. Even if that moment does come, it wouldn't change what happened. It wouldn't give you those months back. It wouldn't give you those nights back. It wouldn't give you back the version of yourself that sat there questioning your worth because one person couldn't see it. That's why healing starts when you stop needing their decision to make sense. Because some decisions will never make sense. We know this. Some people will walk away from good things. Some people will choose temporary excitement over peace. Some people will choose potential problems over proven loyalty. That's human nature. That's all that is. The real challenge is not understanding why they left. The real challenge is understanding why you're still allowing their choice to control your future. Because here's the truth. The person who chose somebody else made one decision. One. But every time you compare yourself, every time you replay the relationship, every time you build imaginary conversations in your head, every time you wonder if they'll come back, every time you make their choice the center of your whole life, you're making the same decision over and over again. They chose someone else. You're choosing them every day. And that is where your power is leaking. That's where your life is getting stuck, right there. That's where your healing stops. Because eventually, there comes a point where the greatest act of self-respect is accepting what happened without agreeing with it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to approve of it. But you do have to accept it. Because acceptance is what allows you to move. Acceptance is what allows you to stop fighting reality. Acceptance is what allows you to stop trying to earn love from people who already showed you what they're willing to give you. They already showed you. And the moment you stop arguing with reality, something interesting happens. You stop chasing answers. You stop chasing closure. You stop chasing people. And you start chasing your life again. So here's what I want you to do. Stop asking yourself what they're doing. Stop asking yourself who they're with. Stop asking yourself whether they're happy, whether they miss you, whether they made the right choice. And for the next 30 days, replace every question about them with a question about yourself. You. What do I need right now? What have I been neglecting? What part of my life has been sitting on hold while I focus on somebody else's decision? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. Because that's what happens after heartbreak. People put their whole life in some waiting room, right? They stop pursuing goals. They stop meeting people. They stop creating. They stop living. They're physically here, but mentally, they're standing outside a relationship that already ended. And I don't want that for you. I want you to rebuild your trust with yourself. Keep the promises that you make to yourself. If you say you're going to the gym and you're going to work out, do it. If you say you're going to take the trip, do it. If you say you're going to stop checking their page, then guess what? Do it. Every time you keep the promise to yourself, you send a message to your mind that says, I can trust me again. And that's important because a lot of people think their heartbreak came from losing another person. Sometimes the deeper heartbreak came from abandoning themselves while trying to keep somebody else. So this next chapter isn't about finding somebody new. It's not. It's about finding yourself again. It's about becoming the version of yourself that doesn't need another person's choice to feel valuable. It's about waking up one day and realizing that the thing that you thought was taken from you was actually never in their hands. Your confidence wasn't in their hands. Your future wasn't in their hands. Your worth wasn't in their hands. You just forgot that for a little while. So take it back. Take your focus back. Take your energy back. Take your attention back. Take your life back.